Yash. I had a good question I wanted to read, and it's about how do we know who's talking? Is it the consciousness, the deeper intuitive, intelligent self, or is it the mind, ego, that type of thing? And this is from Renee. He says, how can one be sure that the information that one receives comes from one's consciousness, his higher self? Yeah, it's another way of saying your higher self. Because in this dualistic play, there's the higher self and the lower self. And the whole game, so to speak, is for the lower self to get more fused with the higher self. So how do we know where the information's coming from? The higher self or the lower self, or one's mind? How can we become better at listening to this higher self or in consciousness and take actions based on the information that we get from this higher self? It's like, how can the dualistic self be more merged with its source and follow its father, basically, instead of trying to be just a little brat like we are when we're younger and we think we know everything, and we want to respect the elder. So how we do that? And then there was a good response. Kimberly said, intuition is in sync with my heart. See, look, girls, man, they got a better deal with this too. They're more intuitive by nature because their emotional body's more active. That has negatives too, but the positive is they have this inner feeling. They're more in touch with that. So that's good for the girls. Intuition's more in sync with my heart. And then there's no question where the information's coming from. If it's coming from my higher self or lower self. If I'm grounded in my heart, it's just clear. It's like, the heart has a more sattvic, more peaceful, shanti vibration behind the feeling or the thought that we have to do something. It's more, it's more chill. The mind is a little more ragistic, a little more restless, a little more calculative, a little more like projecting into the future. Well, what's going to happen though if I do this? Is this going to happen? Oh, well, maybe that'll happen. Damn, I don't know if I should do it now because maybe that'll happen. The heart don't do it. It's like just go. There's no mental dialogue. It's just, you just go and do what you're supposed to do. It's like a deeper knowing, or you just know. I say sometimes, you just know, like you just know that you know that you know. Somebody say, how you know? So I just know. Like, what do you mean? You can't explain certain things. You can't articulate, or you don't want to articulate. It's like, man, I don't, because it wouldn't work anyway. If somebody's asking something, there's some things that you just know, You can't, if you got to try to explain that to somebody, it means that they're not ready to hear it. They can't grasp the answer. Because it has to, because you know that you can't, that this knowing didn't come from a logical reasoning or explanation. See, you know that already. So you can't, it's a waste of time to try to explain something to somebody with certain things. So there's no question, she says. However, see, this is the best part, which she's going to say now. Otherwise, I wouldn't have read the question or her response. See, this is the part that others don't mention. The non-dual people who think they know something, and they do, but a lot of it's intellectual. They haven't, you can tell if somebody hasn't really evolved into a true knowing because they don't mention the other side. She's mentioning the other side. That's what got me. That's what made me notice. I said, oh, she has some wisdom and some humility. You got to have humility. If you don't have humility, you just think, I made it. I'm the non-dual self. Oh, how did you do it? I didn't do it. There's no me. Why are you touching your ear right now? I'm not. I don't. It's not even me touching my ear. I'm not even aware I'm touching my ear. There's people talk like this, you know. Okay, so I'm going to read what I liked. I liked the whole thing, but I'm just saying. However, our mind can still trick us. So she said all this good stuff, and this is also good what she said. The mind can trick us, but she says, look, intuition's when I'm in sync with my heart, there's no question where it comes from. It's like a deeper knowing. You just know that you know. However, our mind can still trick us. You see, somebody that's aware of that and that gives respect to that, you're going to be all right. You're going to be all right. You got to, humility is important. Is super, especially, see, that's another thing. Girls have that advantage too. They're just more humble by nature. And then they get beat up for it. Like society calls them weak. I made a video on my other channel about the healing power of feminine energy scares men. I think that's what it's called. I talk about that. You can't mess with the feminine power. It's strong. It's also psychotic as hell sometimes, but it's duality. See, the mind can make me, the mind can come in, the mind can imitate the heart. The mind will say, what's an example? I'm in a relationship with a girl, let's say. I yelled at her. And the heart says you should apologize. The mind will say, no, you shouldn't. She needed that. You are a karmic instrument from the universe to help her transform. Sometimes you are, you see. This is why you got to discern in the moment. So then that mind, that thought trumps this deeper feeling like I should apologize to her. And then I'll say, well, wait though, what about this inner feeling? It says you should. No, that's just the mind. The mind will say, no, that's just emotion. It's not your inner feeling. You're vagina whipped. You don't need to, call your boy up. Hey man, should I? No, man, you shouldn't apologize. What are you talking about? You're the alpha male. Those videos are funny too. I make fun of the alpha male on the other video, and I'm an alpha male. I'm beyond that, but I'm both. We don't choose if we're alpha male or beta male, it's already been downloaded, but that's in my other video. So see, that's an example of how we get tricked, how we got to stay vigilant, But see, when that mind's saying that nonsense, no, you shouldn't do that, it has this vibration. It's more heavy. It's more arrogant and egotistical. It has this negative masculine vibration behind it, which is arrogant and ego. It's not a balanced thing. She also mentioned at the end, when our mind and heart is in sync. Yeah, I say that also. I say when there's a perfect balance between mind and emotion, there's intuition. So you can't be too far off. You can't be too far on one side. If it's too much intellectual, that has a certain vibration. If it's too much emotional, that also has a certain vibration. It's just too thick. It's too what's the word? Damn, why can't I ever think of the words when I'm making a video? If I'm not making a video, I can think of the words easy. But it's like it's too sappy. It's too. I know the word, but I can't think of it. It's just too melodramatic. You know, it just has a excessiveness vibration to it. See, if we go too far on each side, there's like an excessive vibration. Like excessive meaning it's like not balanced. It's just too, you know, it's just too much. It's not more balanced. So when it's more balanced, that's intuition. So I appreciate the question, both. The question, the response, everything. That's why I made the video. All right, have a good day.